Okay. Scooting my chair in. The mature adult way, of course. Via thrusting forward. Just doing our usual daily check the audio moment in every stream because I work alone and therefore I need to... Hi, Nugget. That's Nugget. He's cute. He's a cutie patootie. He's just hanging out back there. He likes to get up on the chair. He likes to get up on the very tippy top. Who knows if we'll see him do that today. There he goes. There he goes. He likes to get up on the chair, be cute, attack my ceiling fan. He's adorable. He's truly a treasure of mine. Okay. So, oh, bro, you good? You good? I didn't do that to you, did I? Did you jump off? I think you jumped off. I wasn't looking at the camera. I don't see the playback. It just sounded like he landed hard. You good? He's fine. He's fine, everyone. Homeboy is okay. My homeboy, my home skillet biscuit nugget over here. All right, just cleaning himself off, brushing himself off. Also, I'm wearing a shirt that says melanin, and that is 1000% the vibe. Oh my god. Okay. So, why does someone want to send me a message? For what reason does someone want to send me a message? Okay. Okay. Well, salutations, friends. My name is Brianna Sukiyama Bond, otherwise known as No Ordinary Scholar, and welcome to this here stream about the Conductors. Did I read this book literally a month ago? Maybe. Am I only just now getting to the stream of it? Because, frankly, it's the same thing it usually is. I didn't get the notes together, and because a bitch takes probably more notes than I actually need to. Scratch that. Definitely more notes than I actually need to be taking of this book. Of any book, really. And, you know, had to get them together for a second. Although, realized I was wasting a lot of time and energy with some of how I was doing the notes. So, hopefully going forward, should be a little faster. And yeah, let's go. Let's describe this book. This book we have here. It's The Conductors by Nicole Glover. What do I have to say about this? So, how the book goes is we have Hetty and Benji. They are conductors, meaning they have worked. They've worked to help. This is historical fiction-ish. So this is the time, I think it takes place just after emancipation, but like also flashbacks to before emancipation and during like the full heat of slavery. So conductors work to help break out and free slaves, help slaves escape from the South. And Hetty and Benji in particular have celestial magic to help them do that. They essentially like draw constellations, it seems like, and that has a magical effect. Those two originally got married for practical reasons, like probably money. Women at the time didn't have many rights, so to have assistance through Benji for that purpose. But so yeah, like their marriage was initially just practical reasons, but now Hetty is starting to actually feel feelings for Benji, and frankly she does not understand it. It's very cute to watch. And so you see throughout the story she is just trying to like figure out what feelings she actually has and like why she's starting to have feelings for Benji. I have the worst dry tongue at the moment. Oh my god. But yeah, she's trying to figure out why she has feelings for Benji right now. How to engage with those, how to engage with him because of those, stuff like that. And then you also have, at the same time, someone they knew was murdered, and a cursed sigil, or like what they refer to as I believe these are constellations, but they refer to them as sigils. That's what they're drawing with their hands and whatnot to create their magic. So a cursed sigil was carved into the chest of the friend they found murdered. And I have a very interesting relationship with this book in that hold on momentarily. I'm an absolute mess, aren't I? I'm a mess of a human being. Connect. Cool. Actually, I'm a mess. I'm a mess, and I am a mess. This is what this intermission is for. Just acknowledging that I indeed am a mess. Okay, so the thing with this book, it had me. It had all of me. I was so invested into this book, and frankly, more than anything, I was invested into Hetty and Benji's relationship. I loved the way it was being depicted. I thought it was interesting, the route they were going on of, well, they married for basically business. They married for the practical reasons, and they never thought they'd fall in love, but now you have her clearly falling in love, and you have him who is clearly we know he is most definitely in love with her as well. Whether or not that's always been the case, we really can't tell because we're not there the whole time, but it's still definitely something we see, and we can at least it felt like we could tell that, right? I thought that was so well written. But then we get to this point of the book where they go and sneak off to this fucking fair or something, and they're at this fair, and that scene, I feel like it lasted for 8 years. Oh my fucking lord. It felt like we completely, it just lagged on for so long. The number of times I felt there's this one paragraph, there was this one moment where they're talking to people at this event, right? And they're trying to figure out who is there, and they're trying to figure out feel people out, just to see who may or may not have been a murderer, right? But the paragraph, the whole paragraph that is used to kind of describe the scene, what I mean by that is not necessarily a paragraph, but the scene is you have this person's the person we're gonna investigate now. Hetty walks up to them, they say something, she's and she says something back, and she's well, or something. That's what I mean. The interaction itself, I swear to God, it felt like the narrative part of the interaction was repeated constantly. It literally felt like we had the same narrative interaction, but just changed out the names and dialogue and just copy pasted that throughout that whole scene, and it lost me. It lost me so hard, and that's how we ended up here. Oh my God, I got so goddamn sick of that one scene that I just, all of the emotion and all of the buildup and everything that I had been just so interesting. It had been so interesting. I had been so intrigued and so just, I wanted to learn more. I wanted to read more. But then we got to this scene and it just felt like it wouldn't end, and it felt like it was doing nothing. It felt like I was stuck in purgatory. So I just had the hardest time trying to keep reading after that point. And that brings us to the actual mystery of it. Honestly, I would not, based on what I've seen of this story, I would not trust these two characters to solve I would not trust them to figure out where I put my fucking keys, let alone solve a murder. One thing in particular is how we go on a whole ass fucking tangent. A whole ass tangent where they assume that because a person had a stab mark in the front, a stab mark in the back, and the knife that was found at the scene could not have gone through them. And so we have this whole ass tangent where they're okay, two people must have done it. There must have been two knives involved. And that is genuinely the first thing they think of, as opposed to shank, take it out, flip them, shank. I do not, and I can see it being like, okay, we have like a casual murder mystery type of thing. They're not experts, they're just kind of like diddling about, but oh my god, like, that one hurt me. That one really, two fucking knives. You insisted it must have been two knives. I can't fathom. But also, like, they also just kind of, another issue with the book is they kind of, I didn't know, there's one thing in the book that may have potentially been like a piece of evidence, but I don't even remember if they gave the information, because there's a moment where you're at this schooling house or something, and you're at like the schooling house, and in the attic, I think, is where this other person that they're looking for a completely other case, because they work like 8 fucking cases in this story, and like that person used to live there, and they break into the room and the cursed sigil was on the wall. And I think that this is the school that, like, I think that the school is in some way related to the person that killed everyone. I think this is their school. I think. I don't even remember if that was stated. I really don't think it was mentioned, like, towards the end where they're like, obviously Hetty gets fucking captured, and now we're putting the pieces together. I don't think that was fucking mentioned, but the things that were mentioned and were like, oh, this is obviously why this person is the murderer, was, so Hetty and Benji used to help slaves escape. And I guess a lot of people in general would like think of them, be like, oh, Hetty and Benji, they never leave a person behind. But the like murderer, his, I think, wife was supposed to go with Hetty and Benji and supposed to be freed by them and they were supposed to help her escape, but they ended up leaving her. But we don't know until literally the end of the book that they knew his wife. Like, they have a conversation prior in the book, and we find out that his wife never made it to freedom, or like we're assuming it's a wife. I don't know. We find out that his wife never made it to freedom, but we don't know at any point until the end that his wife was supposed to be traveling with them, which, like, I don't think that counts as like a hint or as foreshadowing or anything like that to say this woman never made it to freedom. Obviously, this is a direct relation to the two people in the group that were freeing slaves, because slaves were everywhere, you know? Slaves were everywhere. I'm sure a lot of people did not make it to freedom when trying to escape, if they try to escape. Stuff like that. Like, I think this is too broad a net to throw to be able to be like, aha, this is obviously in connection. They had another thing where there are these chains, these collars, metal collars that are put around the necks of slaves that can do magic. And the collar's supposed to use magic to prevent them from using magic. I don't know if it's prevent them from using magic or cause them pain so that they won't. And apparently collars have the slave owners' names on them. And I think so that was a thing that we like came across, but hold on. Where's I took a note of this in like and it's like the collar had the name of like his family name on it, the name of the family that owned him, but we didn't know. I don't think we knew the name at all. And that's also like a big reason why I gave the book a 2-star instead of a 1-star, is because yes, I felt like there were like a decent amount of issues. I felt like there was a lot of stuff missing, a lot of stuff that I just was not like, that wasn't there. But I also realized that the book did definitely lose me, and I did check out, and so maybe some of the stuff was there, but like I don't remember any of it. If I don't remember any of it, and I feel like I would have to give the book a reread before I could ever suggest it to anyone. Another thing so that was like along the lines of, I felt like this main mystery really wasn't set up well, but again, like maybe it was better done, but the book did just lose me so that hard or something maybe. The other thing that I just that like also made it hard to re-engage after that one moment was, after that like 180-year long scene, the other thing that made it hard to re-engage was there were so many things going on that had nothing to do with the actual mystery at hand, and so it was a lot to like keep track of and a lot to like care about, and I just couldn't bring myself to do that. So you had the Hetty and Benji romance, you had the mystery with the people getting carved into, right? You had this chick that was selling faulty, like janky potions that were killing people. You had this woman, this aristocrat woman who passes for white, who wants their help to try and find her sister, who has seemed to disappear, so they're also trying to find her. You have Hetty trying to find her sister. You have Benji boxing and doing boxing for bets and stuff like that. And like there's so much going on that like after the point of me losing interest in the story, because it was boring me and it was hard to read through. After that point was in, I just didn't have a thing to really latch onto because it was so scattered the rest of the story that I just could not bring myself back into it. And so that's where I kind of am. And that's why, yeah, like I said, that's why I went with 2 stars. I feel like maybe if I read it again, I might have a different opinion, but I just truly could not recommend it to anyone, and without, like, at the moment, I could not recommend it to anyone, and frankly, I honestly just did not enjoy it enough and don't care enough about what I did read to feel compelled to read it a second time. So I don't imagine this rating is going to change anytime soon, but that is where I am currently at. And it breaks my heart because again, I was so into it in the beginning. I really, really, really liked this book. I really loved their romance, their dynamic. It was so, I was so into it. I thought this was gonna break my reading slump because I read fucking Iron Widow, which I was super excited for, and had issues with that book. You can check out that stream. But yeah, I was super disappointed to not love this book the way I wanted, but that's okay. The next book I read was a lot better, had its issues too. We will talk about that in the next stream. Hopefully I will be able to get around to that next week. Who knows? Like I said, it's been a month since I finished this book, so who knows? I've also like super busy with publishing. I have a book that's going to start pre-order next week, so that's something to we're busy. And by the way, said book that is going to be pre-ordered next week is going to be actually the third book in this series, the Queen of Thieves series. Hold on. Let me change screens so I can see if there's a glare. Okay. Queen of Thieves series. This is book 1. This is book 2. I'm very proud of this series. Very proud of the redos of the covers that I did. And book 3 is going on pre-order next week. That's super exciting. Reading wise, currently I am reading, or actually the next book that's going to be on stream is going to be Her Name is Night by Yasmin Ango. And then I'm currently reading The Intangible by CJ Washington. We'll see if I DNF it. If I DNF it, we're probably not doing a stream about it. I'll talk about whatever I had to talk about in my wrap up. But yeah, that's where I'm at currently. I will let you guys know. I might do an update stream at the end of the month. That way I can get across, like, let you know, pre-order, all that stuff, as well as any new book order, like book reading orders, in case anyone wants to join me. But because I do think it's going to depend on some technical things. But yeah, that is currently what I have for you guys right now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, valedictions, friends.